Good evening, everybody. It's 5 o'clock. Welcome to our meeting. Please stand and join for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Erin, would you please take the roll?
Councilmember Pointer. Here. Councilmember Dietrich.
Here.
Councilmember Gray.
Here.
Councilmember Schmidt. Here. Councilmember Sherburne.
Here.
Okay, everybody's here. First item on the agenda tonight, I did ask for an amendment. We're going to swear in our new officer, Nick Metelsky, tonight after we do the consent agenda, if that's okay with everybody. So I would take a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So.
I'll approve the agenda as amended.
Okay. And
Second.
Bill? Okay. Any questions or further comments or things tonight? Okay, Linda?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Mary Ann?
Yes.
And Brian?
Yes.
Okay. Next is a public input period. Please come to the podium and state your name and address for the record before proceeding with your comments. Individual remarks are limited to 5 minutes, with the overall public input period limited to 30 minutes. Under Iowa Open Meetings Law, the City Council can take no formal action on comments given during public input period which do not relate to action items on the agenda. Is there anyone who would like to speak to the council tonight? Hearing none, I'm going to go ahead and close the public input period. And before us, we have the consent agenda. Item 3.1, I need a motion to approve the minutes of the August 12th regular city council meeting. I need a motion to approve resolution 88, approving the bills. Next, I need a motion to acknowledge the receipt of city reports and minutes we have from Park and Rec, the wastewater reports, and the airport committee meetings. Next, I need a motion to adopt resolution 89, amending the salary and approving officer reimbursement agreement, and this is for Mr. Nick Metelsky. Next, I need a motion to approve the request of the Manchester Area Chamber of Commerce to temporarily close South Franklin Street from Main Street to Marion Street Bridge on Saturday, September 28th, from 1 to 8 p.m. for a fall festival. Next, I need a motion for us to approve the request again for the Manchester Area Chamber of Commerce to close East Main Street from Tama Street to Franklin Street and South Franklin Street from Main Street to Marion Street Bridge on December 5th from 4:30 to 8:30 p.m. for their annual winter walk. And those are all the items for the consent agenda. I will take a motion in a second and then open it up for discussion.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Are there any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none. Mary Ann?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
And Lynn? Yes. Okay.
Can I have a suggestion?
Yeah, his wife's not, can we do a little bit later till his wife gets here? Is that okay with everybody? Okay, we'll take a break in here. Okay, thank you. All right. Yeah, I don't want her to miss it too. She can get to watch it. Okay. Pardon?
She said 5:05.
Okay, that's fine. We're good. So right now it's 5:04 and I'm going to open the public hearing on a development agreement with Wes Schulte. And this is in regard to the 12-unit apartment building in West Marion Street. Do you want to speak to this, Tim, at all, or?
West Schulte is looking to build a 12-plex, apartment complex. This would be one of 4 in that area. We'll be looking at 5 and 6 here shortly. This investment is a little over $1 million. What we're looking to do here is a 10-year, 85% tax rebate. The 85% is what is eligible to be rebated. Debt service levies, PEPAL levies, those are not eligible for rebate. So when you take a look at what it actually gets scaled down to, it's closer to 55 to 60%, depending on what the debt service levies are between the city, the county, and the school with PEPAL levy. So previously we've done 80-10 So this thing get bumped up to 1085. But other than that, it's pretty well standard to what we've done in the past.
This is a public hearing in case anybody has some comments or questions. Hearing none at 5:05, I'm going to close the public hearing. And before us, I need a motion to adopt resolution 90, and that will approve the development agreement with West Oldie.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay,
I'll second.
is there any further questions or comments? Hearing none, Joe?
Yes.
Mary Ann?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
And Bill?
Yes.
She here yet? No? Okay, we'll go on to our next regular agenda, our first regular agenda item, and I believe we have Jim Hill here today. You wanted to discuss in your presentation? Okay.
I'm here to discuss my hangar lease with the city of Manchester. Tim Nick called me, on August 15th, asked me to come into his office to visit with him about the lease. And at that time, told me that he and airport board members, that my lease is invalid with the city of Manchester at the airport. And he made false accusations at that time. But before I discuss the lease, I want to discuss what has occurred prior to this meeting tonight. On July 31st, at 8 o'clock in the morning, I am the landlord. Even though to my renter at the hangar to vacate the premises in 30 days. Because I had a new renter moving in with a long-term lease effective September 1st. That is a base aircraft with an N number at Manchester Airport for probably a long time, for years. That's my sole decision as owner of the hangar. And under section 11 of the lease, I can sublet my hangar, anyone I wish, anytime. And it complies with my lease agreement. That was July 31st, 8 o'clock in the morning. 2 hours, 58 minutes later, Mr. Pat Schmitz went to the Secretary of State. That paper here, which I'll give to you later. And filed to reserve my name that I used to use as Ultralight Aircraft LLC. Which has absolutely no effect on my lease, which I'll tell you about in a minute. Why would he do that? I wish he was here so I could ask him. Why did you sign my name, get my lease? Huh? You know? Why, Vic? Why would he do that? Why would he my reserve LLC name?
I have no idea.
I'd like to know. You all asking.
But,
You did dissolve this.
Yes, I dissolved LLC back in 2019. At that time, I went to an attorney and asked him to make a change in my lease. You've mentioned. He says, no problem. I have to make the lease. I'll explain why in a minute. I just can't why Pat would do this, other than to think that he's going to get my lease canceled because of the name change. It does not do that.
Anyway,
This is not the first time. The airport members have misled this council with false information. For example, when they gave me that flight aware, all the plans to land here, which was not true. And very misleading. Well, true, but misleading. The information that It's time to be straightforward about what's said in the council meeting about the city council, and airport board, and what's going on at the airport. Now, I currently have a long-term lease signed with N-numbered based aircraft that will go into effect on September 1st. My attorney, pardon?
When did you get that signed?
About a week ago.
So it wasn't signed before you did the other one?
No, it's not signed yet. Is that relevant?
Well, I'm just asking a question.
My attorney, Steve Carr, reviewed my lease with the city of Manchester, and he has prepared a notice to the city of successor lessee as follows. I'm going to read it, and I'm going to pass it out.
No, I haven't received it. I have not received that yet.
Receive what?
What you just stated, Mr. Carr is prepared for you.
He said he's gonna
I've got
read
it
it.
right here.
He's gonna read it and then give us.
I'm gonna read it to you. A hangar lease dated June 7th, 2006 was entered into between the city of Manchester and Ultralight Aircraft of Iowa LLC, the lessee. I'm the lessee, the Ultralight Aircraft. The lessee provided the city of Manchester with a lease to lease the plot of ground at the Manchester Municipal Airport contained in the airplane hangar space designated as number 2 on the terms specified in the lease. A copy of the lease is attached here too for reference. This is from Mr. Carter. Paragraph 19 states, it is further understood and agreed that this agreement shall be binding upon the whole thing. Shall be binding upon the city and the lessee herein, and upon the successors and assigns of the said city, and upon the heirs, beneficiaries, executors, administrators, successors, and assigns of said leasee. I am a successor. If I die tomorrow, my heirs would also get this lease. Paragraph 19 states it is further understood and agreed that this agreement shall be binding upon the lessee herein and upon the successors, which I am, of said lessee. Ultralight Aircraft LLC was a single-member limited liability company solely owned by Jim Hill. Since the date of the lease, Ultralight Aircraft LLC has been dissolved back in 2019, leaving Jim Hill individually the owner of all interests formerly held by Ultralight Aircraft of Iowa. This notice is to clarify the current status of the lessee, Jim Hill, individually, is the current lessee as successor in interest to the original lease. One.
Yeah, I think Dan said, here's the check you signed.
Yeah, I'd like to give these to acknowledge that you received it. Please sign that, give it, return one to me. I don't see it.
Jim was, he's right.
I'll do all this for everyone. What is that about?
What's that? It's on that long farm.
In addition to Mr. Carr looking at the lease and giving me this paper. I'm kind of like when you go to the doctor, sometimes you want a second opinion. So I made an appointment with Cedar Rapids, see Simon, Perrine, Moyer, Bergman, a law firm in Cedar Rapids, second opinion, and they came to the exact same conclusion. There's absolutely no reason that we should be even here today to discuss this. This is an absolute waste of everyone's time and a total embarrassment to me. And Jim tells me that I have falsely going to lose my lease for fraud, charges. So now I want to know if anyone in this room has any questions or wish to dispute any of these claims, I would like you to present them to me now. In front of the city council. Today, while all of us are present. Are there any questions about this?
So how do you plan to use the hangar then now on?
I have a long-term lease, okay, for a economic aircraft. Not yours, not mine, it's gonna be based in, Manchester, it will be based here, yeah.
Can I ask what that's gonna be? Release?
I don't think that's relevant.
Okay.
Not much. Okay. It doesn't mean it's that.
When was the last time you had a base aircraft?
I think it's over. Was it 2 years ago? Yeah, that's something, two years ago or something.
But the airplane will not be yours.
No.
So you will be leasing,
Subletting.
subletting the hangar. Which we have,
There may be more than one, I have one at present. There may be more than one. Something else, you all have to know. When I went to big office, he asked me to come down and talk with him. I said, when I come, give me a list of the people who want to rent hangars. They in the meetings, I keep hearing this about, oh, we got all these people who want to rent hangars, build hangars. I said, fine, I'm looking for a renter. I asked him for a list. He pulled out a post-it note with 5 or 6 names on it. I asked for the phone numbers or the name, well, I don't know where they live. Oh, I don't have their phone number. So this is bullshit. If you've got people, and I want to rent a hangar to them, give me the goddamn name and number.
We don't need to get it,
Okay,
please. All right.
yeah.
So, I did know that that was discussed at the last meeting, and I think they were gonna be trying to put a list of those together, so we would have all the things. Have not met since that
Well,
meeting.
I asked for
He
it.
doesn't have it yet. He doesn't have it yet because it's being compiled.
Okay,
Okay?
all right, I know about it.
Okay.
Is there any other question?
At this point, I have a question, because I haven't had a chance to read this. It's very unfair. To walk in here, throw this on at me and say, do you have any questions? I don't have any questions. I'm sorry.
Well, I
Give it a little time.
sure.
Well, then don't expect me to ask my questions now and be upset if I have a question later, which is the way that you're approaching this. Please, calm down. Quit acting like we're the adversaries. You're not. And I would appreciate it if you would show some respect to everyone sitting at this table. His name is disrespect, not fair. And I believe that we deserve your respect. We have done nothing that allows you to come in here and badmouth us. I'm sorry, we haven't. This is the first time seeing this. Please give us time to look at it. Please give us that respect, and we will give you respect in return. Thank you.
When you give me respect, I will give you.
I just did by asking for your respect, and I told
I will
you.
give you respect when you guys respect me.
So,
I'm sorry.
okay, so I'm going to ask that we give time for everybody to review this. I would like Jim Peters to also review this work as well. And then, I think it would be best if you and all of us sit down after we get through this. We'll contact you. And we'll look at that. Well, fine, that, no, that's. So, but we will, after we review all this, we will be in touch with you, and we'll meet with you personally.
Okay,
And do that, is that not fair?
that's great, that's what I expect.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're very good. Very well. All right.
Oh, I have it. Does that-
Yeah, you have to get copies. Yeah, so- Maybe everybody has a copy.
You give us a set of copy.
Yeah, I'm gonna sign it after he reviews it, after the attorney reviews it, then I'll give that to you. That's
No, I'm just acknowledging that you're secret, that's all.
all that is, but.
Now that we receive, you can sign that, but why don't you date it?
I think it's updated.
Is it this one?
You can sign it with the date.
Oh, okay, I will put it on here.
What is it, 26?
And I'll just go copy.
Is that what I'm gonna sign?
Oh, yeah, please.
You know, any other copy, Brent, with the date on this?
Oh, yes, absolutely, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Plus there. There you
Okay.
go.
Yeah,
All right,
I want a copy of whatever she signed.
I'll give it to you.
I mean, we should keep.
I almost got a pen.
Yeah, thank
Those things are gold.
Sure.
Meetings, ain't they?
Okay, then you can do this to Jim. Thank you. All right. Is there anything else then, Jim?
No,
You-
that'll
you-
do it. I wish to apologize one more time for getting.
Okay, thank you very much. Have
Thank you.
a good evening. Okay. All right. Next, item 6. Oh, is she here?
Yeah.
We can go ahead and get you sworn in. All right. Is that all right if we do this now, everybody?
Yeah.
All right. Okay,
If
do
you
you
don't
want
mind, council members. What? You gotta
to
move?
step back? And I'm just gonna say it one more time so I don't mess it up. Matelski? Did I say it right? Okay, all right. I put me, I hope that's okay, or did you want Nicholas? It's fine, okay.
Just tell me when you want.
Yeah, it sounds like your mom then, doesn't it?
Uh-oh.
All right, so raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, Nick Metelsky, do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear.
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and that of the state of Iowa, and that to the best of my knowledge and ability, I will perform all the duties of police officer
From all the duties of police officer
of the said city of Manchester, Iowa.
of that city, Manchester, Iowa.
Congratulations. And give you a copy of this. And what's your lovely wife's name? Billy? Yeah, it's very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Are you guys moving to Manchester then?
We are undecided if we have a son who's a senior in
Oh,
high school right now. so
Can you guys
it's a little
stand up?
lonely.
Picture of the mayor, please?
All right.
Family too?
Okay.
And this is very few of us.
Thank you.
All right, congratulations. Welcome aboard. Thank you.
You want this? Or can you do that, don't you?
Congratulations.
Welcome.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Welcome to Manchester.
Thank you.
You can start training for the Hero Hustle for next year? Yeah?
You just did a mud run.
15K tough mutter.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. You had still some good weather a little bit for that. It was a little warm.
Very hot.
It was hot.
Yeah, it was at the Rockford Airport.
Yeah.
So it was surrounded by corn and bean fields.
Yes, just
with No
push off.
clouds
Yeah,
anywhere. So, yeah,
yeah,
it was nice to be done.
yeah. All right.
You know, Ben, that makes him insane for doing that.
As long as he represents Manchester in the Euro.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Welcome again.
All right. Next, motion, I need, item 6.2, I need a motion to waive the second consideration adoption of ordinance 11 and proceed with the final consideration adoption, and this is in regards to, the parent responsibility.
I'll make that motion. I'll second 6.2.
Yeah.
I'll second.
I lost my little sheet that had all my little notes, there's the Joan Bryan, there we go, all right. Any other questions or comments on this? Joe,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Mary Ann,
Yes.
and Linda.
Yes.
Okay. Next, I have items,
Now
now we have to do
Approve the third.
Oh, yes, now we have to do a motion to approve the third consideration and final adoption. I'm so
I'll
sorry.
make the motion to approve the third consideration.
I'll second that. Okay. I'm just gonna keep going here. Joe,
Yes.
Linda.
Yes.
Brian.
Yes.
Bill.
Yes.
And Mary Ann.
Yes.
Next. I think we talked about doing the same thing with our next ordinance, a motion to waive the second consideration and adoption of ordinance 12 and proceed with the final consideration, and this is in regards to our electric vehicles, correct?
No, this is.
No.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, the setback, sorry. Lot size, yes, thank
I'll
you.
make a motion to approve the second
Waive the second.
Waive the second of the lot width. I'll second.
Okay. Joe,
Yes.
Brian.
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Mary Ann,
Yes.
and Linda. And then I need a motion to approve the third consideration and final adoption.
So moved?
Second.
Bill,
Yes.
Joe.
Yes.
Mary Ann,
Yes.
Linda.
Yes.
And Brian.
Yes.
All right, and next, this one is regarding the bicycles. I need a motion to waive the second consideration and adoption of ordinance. I'm gonna say that again. Motion to waive the second consideration and adoption of ordinance 13 and proceed with the final consideration and adoption.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? Mary Ann?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
And Joe. And again, a motion to adopt the third consideration and final adoption of ordinance 13.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Mary Ann, or excuse me, Linda?
Yep.
Mary Ann?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Thank you guys for making that happen. We have one more. This is a motion to waive the second consideration and adoption of ordinance 14 and proceed with the final consideration and adoption. And this is in regard to the electrical, personal, assistive, and micromobility devices.
So moved?
Second.
Bill?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Mary Ann?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
And then I need a motion to approve the third consideration and final adoption of ordinance 14.
So moved.
Second.
Linda?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
And Mary
Yes.
I knew I was gonna vote yes.
Ann?
Since he said it, I wanted to go this way, so it'll make it easier on the mayor.
I know, we looked at that way. Okay,
Does this mean I can buy one for Aaron now, please?
No.
yeah.
We just
have to work on
walking.
Next, I'm looking for a motion to adopt resolution 91, and that authorizes the city clerk to make the listed transfers for the fiscal year that ends June 30th. And transfers are included as part of the budget. However, the city's auditors have recommended the city council also approve them by resolution. Do you want to speak to this?
So these are transfers that we talked about at budget time. A lot of what happens with transfers is that I'm required to receive money into a certain fund, and then I can transfer it out to the other funds, where we're doing the actual expenditures. You'll see that with hotel motel tax, I have to receive that into general fund, but it then is transferred out per the ordinance to park improvement and to the hotel motel tax fund. Local option has to go into the local option tax fund, and then it gets transferred out to the street projects and the bikeway walkway. So that's a lot of what the transfers are. I will note the general fund transfer to the fire truck reserve fund. That is one that council is typically approved each year when the fire department doesn't utilize all of their budget, allowing them to transfer the remainder over to the fire truck reserve fund so we can build that up for future fire truck purchases. But that's basically what the transfers are. So if there are any questions.
I personally like seeing when the fire department doesn't use their budget, we just put that in there for the fire truck for when they need it, because we're never gonna not need a fire truck, so.
And they don't get cheaper.
No,
No.
no, yeah.
Motion to adopt?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Bill?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Mary Ann?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
And Brian?
Yes.
All right, next, I need a motion to adopt resolution 92. And that is to rescind officer reimbursement agreement with police officer Dylan Sinal.
I'll make the motion to approve item 6.7.
A second.
All right, Joe?
Yes.
Mary Ann?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
And Bill?
Yes.
Next, I need a motion to adopt resolution 93, and that'll approve change order number 1 for the Grand Avenue Extension Project. This is decreasing the total construction cost by $6,592.32 to $768,527.19. The change order is the result of finalizing as constructed project quantities. I need a motion in a second.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any further questions on this or to Jason or be to you, Sam? If there's,
Jason.
or it would be for Jason. This is Grand Avenue, sorry. sorry. Any,
I'll answer any questions.
does anybody have any questions of him?
I'm just glad to see it's getting cheaper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just on quantities, basically.
Yeah, so there was a increase for sidewalk for Mr. Hermson out there, but that was a voluntary assessment he agreed to with the city, because there's a chunk in his sidewalk, so a portion of that will get rebated back to the city.
Mhm.
And then the other was just for a couple extra panels on the end of existing Grand Avenue that didn't make it through the winter well, that city staff wanted to take care of as part of the project.
Okay.
So general, overall project came in under.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks.
I need a motion and a second.
We did.
Oh, I'm sorry, Joe.
Yes.
I didn't write that down. And Bill?
Yes.
Okay, Joe,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Linda? Yes. And Mary Ann? Yes. Okay. Next, I need a motion to approve payment. Pierce Tobin has submitted pay estimate number 4 in the amount of $26,468.08. Work completed on the Grand Avenue Extension Project. And that pay estimate covers work completed from June 29th through July 27th.
And this should be the final pay estimate until we reach up finally finish.
Yes.
There will be one more once the city, we've done a walkthrough, we just need to verify all of the punch list items.
We did a walkthrough of the project. We just need to verify that a couple of punch list items have been addressed. Once I'm and city staff are satisfied with that, we'll go ahead and draft up a letter of recommendation for city to accept the project. At that point, there'll be a resolution the city will adopt accepting the project, and there'll be a application for release of the retention, which should be 30 days after acceptance.
Okay.
I have a question. I don't know who it's to. If the city decides, the council decides not to accept a project, what happens then? Has that ever been done? I mean, the road's great. I'm not saying I can accept it. I'm just curious, can you not accept it after it's all done?
You're using it now, so pretty much you kind of,
We've already-
you've kind of,
If
Clause-
there was a material, if you could point to a material problem.
Right.
With you might be able to use it, but you see it's cracking everything's cracking on the sides,
Right.
that'd be grounds to not accept it.
Okay.
but upon acceptance, there's an automatic starting of a maintenance bond. So there's a 2-year maintenance bond that will be started upon acceptance by the city. So there's still a requirement for 2 years after acceptance that there's any defect, basically any defects that would arise that the contractor has to come back and address.
Just curious, learning all this stuff as we go, the more and more we do things, I didn't know if that was ever even a thing.
But it's been a thing where there's been a conflict between the council and the contractor. They weren't satisfied with the project. And then ends up, usually the contractor sues the city and they go to court because contractor doesn't believe it needs to be fixed and the city believes it does need to be fixed. So that's when the judge figures it out.
Typically, there's ongoing communication between the city, the engineer and the contractor that would kind of underscore some of those sorts of things if they were to happen.
I have one question. In fact, it's from a couple of people that live up in that neck of the woods. First of all, I said, well, I can look it up. They want to know who owns the property in the next chunk north, that dead end cul-de-sac of Deanne Drive.
Yeah, that would be close to its property up there. Where they built the house.
Is that Max?
No, that would be part of his property then, because they were like, man, someday that next project would go up to that. That would help take out just a ton of it.
There has been some discussions. I believe the family up there has looked at potential for extending that road to the north, because that is part of the planning for the city. But then they can look at ways to develop that for residential development then.
Yeah, so, no, that's all I got. You need a motion, Mayor, to approve
Yes,
this?
I do.
Yes, so moved.
I'll make the second.
No other questions? Bill?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Mary Ann? Yes. Linda?
Yes.
And Brian?
Yes.
All right, and then our final regular agenda item 10. Motion to accept the bid from S&B Promotions LLC in the amount of $17,210 for the purchase of 108 Gay Street. And set September 9th, 2024 at 5 p.m. as the date and time for a public hearing on the sale of that property. Do you want to speak to this?
I'll let Jim speak to it. All right, we're just accepting
I
that.
was researching the.
Yeah, remember, we're accepting it, but as part of real property, the city has to go through a public
Oh.
hearing process.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So, we can accept the bid, set the public hearing, go through the public hearing and if things are processed or approved, then we'll go ahead and move forward with the sale.
But we're also running into that bond issue.
Yeah, I talked about that last time, right? I'll bring you up, since we're there, let me bring you up to date on where we're at on that.
Okay.
No one seems to know what kind of bond we're even talking about. I've called, and last week we talked to Employers Mutual. I talked to the attorney that we were working with on this case. And she referred it to the attorney handling the appeal on that case with the judgment. He and I talked about it. He's not quite sure what the code section means. He agrees with, the problem is we don't know what to tell the bonding company they're issuing. So what he told me he would do Thursday, I guess I talked to him Thursday. He told me I asked him if he could find out how the attorney was, how they did it in Des Moines. Because Des Moines had, you might remember years ago, when they had a judgment for franchise fees. That was a big litigation.
That's right.
And they didn't shut that down while they appealed it, so somehow they found a way to do business.
Mhm.
And what I'm afraid of, I don't wanna just order a bond and not have the bonding company know what it is, cause I think they'd come to us with a crazy high price, cause they wouldn't know what it is.
Right.
So I'd hope to hear from him today, cause he said he would. I emailed him this morning, the attorney that was gonna check on it, and I haven't heard back from him.
So hopefully we'll have some
I'm hoping any day.
before September 9th.
Oh,
we'll have
yeah.
some information.
Cause we just can't have our hands tied on all transactions during this time.
Okay.
But that's really it.
Yeah, and I know Mr. Summers, I talked to him the other day, really what he would like to do is be able to get that roof sealed up and preserve make it weather tight for now, and then actually do the work in the spring.
Right.
So his concern is really, he just doesn't want too many more rainfalls, what the condition it is in,
Right, but you don't have so long of a time to
fix it. Yep.
fix it.
That's part of the agreement, that's part of the sale.
Okay. If you guys are in agreement with all of that, I need a motion and a second.
I move to, approve or accept.
Right? Should I hear a second?
I'll say.
Okay. No further questions. Linda?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
And Mary Ann?
Yes.
All right, since we have you here first, Jason, I'll let you finish and then we'll raise them.
So the only other project we have going on right now is Commerce Court. Chick-fil-A did start last week. They've been working on underground utilities out there. We'll be making a tie-in on the water tomorrow. Probably looking at paving, I would imagine, around the first week of October or so. They're trying to finish up a job in Clinton right now, so we should be in good shape to have that completed, obviously before the end of October, which is the contract completion date, but probably closer to mid-October, so. And
Okay.
I believe the potential purchaser is looking, we should be out of their way before they need to do anything. So if there's any questions, I can answer those.
Thank you for your. All right, thanks, Jason. All right, Sam.
East Main, so everything's substantially completed out there. We had a final walkthrough last week Thursday with city staff and IODOT. Went through, pointed out some punch lists, some revised punch lists to the contractor today, so we'll be completing those items. There will be minimal impact of traffic. There is some stuff kind of in the roadway that needs to be addressed, but for the most part, say just use caution, but it shouldn't make too big of an impact. We'll have pay estimate 5 next meeting for work in August, and then we'll have a semi-final pay estimate followed by a final pay estimate for pay retainage once everything's buttoned up. But unlike, say, local projects, once the project is accepted with the DOT project, there is no extended warranty or maintenance bond. So, like I say, hopefully we'll have everything kind of addressed. And one of the things we're kind of waiting on too is seating. So before we make that final payment, we'll have to pull all the erosion control that's in the intakes and make sure seating's coming in good before we want to accept that. But that's all I have, unless anybody has any questions for me.
What kind of issues did they?
Various, there's stuff with the joints, there's a manhole lid that's rattling out there in front of one on the east side of Bailey Drive.
Yeah.
Maybe touch up a little bit of topsoil.
We had a couple branches that were too low over the sidewalk.
Yeah, so that stuff, yeah, the city will trim up some of the stuff, a few branches on the south side of the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think, there is one sidewalk that's not compliant, we'll have to, remove and replace by Manchester Down. So that's, the cross slope is non-compliant, so that's the biggest item. So the rest of everything else.
wonky corner anyway.
So that will impact foot traffic. That'll be the biggest impact, but, everything else, you know, change, but that will be behind, back out, roll back by again.
How many families?
I think two or three. So it's right back, or those are back. So you go out there, you might be able to tell, just almost I walk on it, feel like it's a little bit too much. So that's the biggest item. Did see there's been a few people that have put them side, I know right away, especially open the corner, and then the office, and I went with the runner. But there's a couple other practices that we made, but, there's a little section of all city, that yellow traffic or people that just try to go in where the sidewalk is, and the driveway is west, short little curve section. But if you talk about property, about the time, all four of our company. See how things kind of shake out. Few weeks, yeah, hopefully the next few weeks, in the next few weeks, all the stuff to take care of. And well, we don't hear anything contact in a week or so, all get addressed.
Yes. Otherwise, so our reserves are going to handle it, so we can get it opened up soon.
They're, leaving.
Yeah, they adjust. I don't know if that things over the thing. Just gonna spin our structure.
No, it's nice out there.
Ladies, happy.
But we will need to make sure contractors have done initiation. We will have to estimate extra.
Thanks. Anything else on the other services?
I have none.
Okay. Yeah.
Couple of items, those you start, the solar panels and fire station for 3 weeks. See that in the order. Saturday, August 31st, we have Chris our setting up our purposes. And so Saturday, 5:30 will be cruising Main Street. Some of us may remember that being called Scooping Loop. Starting out there. Cruise loop. Some of them was back. It was.
That's what.
So they'll start out down and Main Street's there, down Main Street's there, on 12. Go south, 12, back, let's very back, 11, also, we did this back in 2020, KMC was big on those, they see this come back, and see how this comes out, we really no idea. Police department's aware of there, we have to post some, maybe French just get it, traffic, we'll see how it goes.
No long, I heard this morning.
Five, assess that. And then I just have some conference things actually conference where, Iowa City's annual conference is Sioux City this year, that's September 18th to 20th. I am presenting a couple of our colleagues on the top topics, how not to yell that, you shouldn't. So that'll be the 18th to 20th, and then the International City County Managers Association is going on in Pittsburgh, starting September 21st, 2025. So I'll be over there in Sioux City, we're doing Pittsburgh, which means on September 26th, the city council, I'll be at that day. Okay. You're people hands me there.
If she has both of them.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
She like
She really one hand, and just not on one.
Yeah.
but that is all.
Aaron.
Carol was yesterday, everyone went really well. We had, I think, 173 or 174 participants, so, 5 states, 30 some counties, and, a bunch of cities, 70 or so. 69, okay. So anyway, we're really pleased with that. Appreciate council approving the use of Shringham Park and allowing us to do all that. And also had a ton of volunteers. We've been doing a lot of it.
Lots of nice restrictions too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Ron. Okay, Linda. Marianne.
Talk to Doug, and this was in the, but I just think everybody should know. We have 8 kids that went through, training for swim lessons. I just think that's easy, so, this they've done. Very good.
Joe?
The only thing I got, been working on that at youth council, sounds like it's gonna be a going through schools more than city side things, just gonna teachers, you're gonna be all and stuff like that. I school board, we're gonna work with them and see how it's gonna work, but we gotta wait, let them kind of get settled in for school, so.
Okay. Bill?
I had a couple in today from Cedar Falls questioning when are the flowers coming down and where they're gonna be after they come down.
So
I
we
think
can
they
scoop them up.
I think she wanted to scoop some of them
I think
up.
Manchester Vitality has a plan for distribution of them.
Oh, do they?
That's what Laura has said.
Okay,
Well, because those baskets have to go back to,
that's what I told her. I said they had to go
on
down.
September 16th, we did have a mishap with the water tank last weekend. Or actually early last week. The 2.5 inch fire hose that fills the tank is a little bit more pressure than what the 2 1-inch nozzles that do the pressure relief can handle. And so they accidentally burst the tank. Of course, it's in the middle of the night or dark out when they did it. We found a new tank over at Tyson's. It was 200-gallon tank. We were using 125. They had to fill in the middle of it. With the 200-gallon tank, they should be able to do it all. With a 1/2-ton truck that we've got set up in, it handles it just fine. So it's working out fine now. It's just a transition way to do.
Are those different flowers than we had last year? A different, the same thing? Katrina and I were driving through today, going out back from Walmart and thought they looked like they were a little more full than last year.
I think September 16th.
Better
Verify
temperatures of
that.
water this
Well, I
year.
was just through Kalmar and they have basically the same flowers, but ours are huge
Yeah.
compared to what theirs were up there. I'm just like, the lady was just massively impressed with this, how big they were and hanging gorgeous they looked. So
Well, you remember in May when they went up there, weren't quite so big.
No.
No.
Maybe question.
that's what I said. So, no, that's all I got.
A reminder, Wednesday night, we have the meet and greet,
Oh.
for the leadership up at the Sterenstein, I believe, 4:30 it starts to 6:30, is that correct? Okay, so everybody's invited up to that. Kudos again to the Hero Hustle people. I mean, that is an amazing thing you guys put on, Erin. I know you're part of that. It was just, and the support, just for our EMA and, well, between that and the Back the Blue, it was really something to witness. It was really cool. So anyway, and, I think that's all. Oh, we had a fundraiser for the dog park the other night, last Wednesday night. Shout out to everybody who came out and helped support it. We raised $1,405 in 2 hours, so I thought that was pretty amazing. So kudos to them, and they're doing a great job trying to get that park up and going by next year for us. So with that, I'll take a motion from Mary Ann, a second from Linda to adjourn, and we are adjourned. Have a great evening, everybody.